Hello, Libra, and welcome to a Timeless Justice for Libra reading, where we discuss the topic of justice, however the conversation would like to be held. Bear in mind that you have tapped into a collective reading that I, Seventh, am holding at this time. This is not a personal one-to-one connection, so utilizing your discernment is necessary to take what you like, leave behind with me what you didn't. Bear in mind whatever brings you here and however you're affiliated with the terminology of Libra and or the latter is in true form to seeing if anything within this reading is meant for you. And just keep in mind that these energies may come across as merciful and or merciless to you. However, it is in true form, or at least the intentions towards however the energies that I read for, which is Sekhmet, wants to disclose her story. So this is one of two sister channels that I run. To gain access to the other sister channel, you can find that via the description box below. You can also find a link to my website where you can find out more information as to who I am as Seventh, as well as book any services that I have made available through that. All right, again, this is for Justice for Libra. I am Seventh, aka Master Seventh, that reads these energies for you. I'm a master healer that provides remote wellness alignments and tarot intuitive insights. Oh no, I need to charge my computer. Fitting. Okay. 1 second. 1 second. We ain't gonna stop. We ain't gonna stop. What a mess, huh? Yeah. What a fucking mess. 3 of Swords. Devil. Page. Page of Wands, to be exact. And we're going for a walk. Absolute chaos. Really gotta do something about that. Libra. Totally unhinged, huh? Totally fucking unhinged. Great. This is just... it's quite saucy, y'all. All that shit. Five of Swords. Listen, y'all want to blame whomever you can for the insults to your life. You really do. You want to blame the person that made sure that the frequency of discomforts within you gets told over and over and over again that they're transmitting this vicious, painful, violent frequency, and they should be held accountable for it. If that's the case, you're going to be upset for someone being who they are? Because if that's the case, make sure you point the finger right back at yourself. Because a mindset like that bleeds into some sort of acknowledgement, because that's the portrayal, that's the image, third party stance, if you want to have it that way, that if you don't show a balance of also pointing out people's weaknesses and putting yourself in the placement of self-judgment or the same judgment or similar judgment or equal judgment because you can fulfill that. If you cannot do that, stay in your lane and mind your own fucking pain, Libra. Because what you'll learn is that if you don't like the transmitters that are coming to you that feel so violent, you need to learn how to remove yourself from being pinned by that radio dial. And if everywhere you go, you get pinged with pain, and this person isn't physically around, the only thing that's pinging the pain is you. You're playing the victim, which doesn't make you the victim. You're playing the victim. You want to claim the definition of owning the title. But any victim that is truly a fucking victim would never want to define being a fucking victim. Because in their attitude of definition, they probably did not want to have that situation have occurred for them to be a defining point anyway. You can't emotionally gaslight yourself or be politically moving in your emotions, like when it's convenient. Mm-mm. There's a truth that you're not seeing. There's a truth that you're not acknowledging about yourself. You've been told. You've been told by a lot of people that are close to you. There has been quite a few people that have tried to be a safety netting for you. Yeah? Ten of Pentacles. Who've been trying to reach out their hand, at least in their presence, that if you needed to spend time away or do something or run an errand or you need company or you want to chill, hang out, you know, vibe out a bit. Like, these are people that you share your thoughts with, and they've given you feedback on those thoughts that you admitted out loud. And so now the question is, did you only want to hear yourself talk, or did you want to also hear reactions based on having talked? And that's the challenging pursuit that seems to be the case here between you and your own divinity. A lot of your shape, your wellness towards your own acceptance of what you define as divinity and your relationship to it through the relationships that you have. So if a relationship is going well with someone else, or maybe that someone else is in your family, then, you know, you're appeasing the gods kind of thing. You know, things are going well. But when it comes to personal relationships that require a bit more in-depth acknowledgement in relation, in the duality, this is then romantic or something more serious than a friendship, you're unemotionally, No, you're emotionally not available. You're unemotional. But when you're not, you're totally emotional. You cry wolf. But when you have it close, you just don't know anymore. It's like you freeze up. And it's really not fair to the song and dance that you're putting out there. You're putting a lot of missed signals, distrust, and they're fucking lies. They're lies. And there are versions of aspects of who we are that are like, didn't just a second ago you thought this? How are we here? How are we this back and forth with shit? And then you look in the mirror and then you're fucking like exhausted. And then you look at the people closest to you and they're exhausted with your ass. Oh, 11:11. The Magician. Huh. Ace of Cups. You want to admit that, yes, the wheels of tides and commonality and longing and community is found in the ebbs and flows of entanglements, quite literally, since the cable was fucking entangled in the cords. That emotions is the key. And it's fucking not. It's not. Some of y'all are privy to ancient Egyptian gods. Some of you might be so privy that you're looking here at this reading, come across strategically because it says Sekhmet or the Bastet. Because those are the energies I read for. I'm only bringing that up because something that's very then controversial in that conversation is the energy of Anubis. For a lot of new age motherfuckers out there, they think Anubis is like the golden mecca of the one that will bring you to wherever you want to go. Yet, that is not the case. And we're not here to justify that. We're not here to talk about that part. We're here to disclose a reason why the truth is still a truth. And while the truth may be a truth, it isn't all. It isn't the entire disclosure. And that needs to be understood so that you understand we're not here meant to play gods. You can't play gods in just a vessel of a human. You can tap into frequencies that are shared within this atmosphere. But to be honest, being that close as something in that quantifiable speed may or may not be at much success without your emotions being involved. Because your emotions will slow that shit fucking down. Right? And if you can understand that, you appreciate the body. You appreciate the speed that, yes, it's fast to you because you're doing it automatically, breathing, the blood pumping, the heart pumping, the brain working, the misfires, the fires, the synapses, the discomforts. Those are all happening at a speed that is automatic to you. You just get to live off of this luxury. And then some of the luxuries are saying, hey, there's some property like maintenance that you have to do around here to kind of keep up this royalty richness of a resort you want to have a relationship with yourself, or the people that you want to come in and associate yourself with. There's some upkeep here that needs to, if you call the landscaper, the fucking hairstylist, the fucking like you don't have to call them if you got the money. You don't got the money, that's fine, but do something with your hair, right? Like take a shower, like live in these luxuries of the ebbs and flows of what makes you feel good. And you know when you feel better because you felt bad. And you know you'll feel bad because there are other moments that exemplify not that moment, which then in that moment is then the other happy moment. There are polar extremes in this life. And these are all chiseled down with memory and cognitively and emotionally and physically enduring yourself in this process is a physiological pursuit that's happening with the fucking human body. It goes at its own speed. It goes however much you put aspartame in your body, or fucking tobacco in your body, or fucking alcohol in your body, or fucking high fructose corn syrup, or fucking like red food coloring dye. Or if you also slather fucking sunscreen, eat fast food, eat all this shit. Talk tarot, but eat all this shit. Like, some people practice reading good shit and then they fucking douse themselves with some nasty, genetically modified foods. Point is, multidimensionality isn't about being clean, isn't about being pure. Because sure as hell, you are not living a pure life, being in close proximity of being able to have a conversation about that shit. So if you and your bullshit comes inclusive with still being able to talk and have that conversation and no one's coming down and you're gone, wow, look at the extremes that we're capable of. I'm going to let that settle right the fuck there. That's it. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.